Welcome to Withdraw Consent. My name is Victor. This is Jack. So with all the war going on, it's really nice that Trump is a candidate who didn't start any wars during his 4 years, right?
Right. That's what he tells us,
Mm-hmm.
That's what he tells us all the speech until he gets to the Republican Jewish coalition.
Oh,
Then the story is way different,
okay.
So basically, we're going to play you a series of clips. We're going to do some Trump speaking to the crowd. We're going to do some Netanyahu and stuff. We're just going to see what you think about this. I'm anti-war, anti-intervention.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm assuming you are too. So we're going to show you that Trump has now moved to the war. He's now the war candidate.
Oh, okay.
That's just where the position he's taken for
Gotcha.
Israel.
Okay.
On Israel first policy.
Gotcha.
So the first clip we're going to show you is just a blurb. Now the link in the description will take you to the entire 35-minute speech.
Okay.
So in case you think we got it out of context or something. And then so here's your first clip.
When I'm back in the White House, the United States will stand with Israel all the way, 100%, without hesitation, without qualification, and without any apology. We're not going to be apologizing. We won't be apologizing. We're not going to be apologizing. We will fully support the Israelis in their mission to ensure that Hamas is decimated and these atrocities will be avenged. They will be avenged. In many ways, they'll be avenged. I think even beyond what you're thinking about. Joe Biden's weakness caused the attack on Israel. Pure weakness and incompetence. Everywhere he goes, Biden's weakness provokes war and death because, as history shows, evil only respects one thing: unyielding strength. You've got to be strong. Otherwise, they're going to be taking over and they're going to be doing things that you wouldn't even believe. When I'm back in the White House, America's enemies will now once again, and they're going to know it, that if you try to kill our citizens, we will kill you. We will kill you.
Okay, what do you think?
It's very war-y, deathy. It's such a strange thing, like the relationship with Israel, and like is that really what's best for America, the people of America, to go into this type of thing?
No, but we could talk about America after we talk about Israel first.
Oh, okay.
It's Israel first, America second.
Right.
It's just 100% is.
Right.
He said, without hesitation, without qualification, without apology. Without qualification?
Right.
No qualification?
Just war.
So, yeah, if they say, hey, we're just going to go at Russia and China at the same time, we're in.
Right.
We're 100% in without apology. You know what I mean? Your kids are going, no apology to you.
Yeah.
Wild. And
Really
then
is.
he said, to decimate Hamas.
Isn't Hamas the elected people? The elected
Yeah,
people that are in charge?
they got elected, yeah. So Netanyahu funded Hamas to create them to be a counterbalance against the PLO, right?
Okay.
So then when the people elected Hamas, then they immediately said, oh, you guys have gone extreme. And then that's when 2006, when they put the blockade on them.
Oh, okay.
And now you can't leave. It's 60% unemployment. It's going great, you know? So basically, to decimate Hamas,
Right.
What does that mean? Because the goal of Israel is not to decimate Hamas. It's just to get rid of the Palestinian people.
Right,
It's
period.
not necessarily to kill them. It's just to get rid of them.
Right.
They got to go, And so that's what we're in for now. That's our agenda.
Sounds great.
It reminds me of when McConnell got up there and said, most important thing for America is to fund Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that clip?
Right.
It's the same type of stuff.
Yeah.
This is... Okay, let me play you this tiny, tiny little clip.
Okay.
The We Love Israel clip.
Okay.
And here it is.
Well, I love Israel. I love Israel.
Okay, so that's ridiculous, right? And when I was here grabbing these clips, and then it was like, is he going to say America first in this whole speech? Is what you said, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to say America
Or is
first?
that he loves America?
Yeah, that he loves America, right? That's
Right.
what you said. Yeah. Wrong crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to say anything good about the second favorite when you're in front of the first favorite.
Right.
Okay, so we're totally on board with Israel now. If you go with Trump, this is
Right.
your position. Okay.
Yes.
And I know you don't agree with every position of every candidate, but going into wars without qualification is kind of important.
Right.
Like, there's no ally in the history of any country that I would say without qualification will go into war with them.
Right.
Because what if they get a wild leader who says, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I'm Rome and I say it to Gaul. And now they say, hey, we're going to go do this. And you know what I mean? If it's a new leader, no. Okay. So now I'm going to play you a clip of, this is the Netanyahu speech.
Okay.
of him talking about their plan. So this is after October 7th. And this is now Trump's alignment is with this plan by Netanyahu.
Oh, okay.
And here's the speech now.
Okay.
I want to make clear Israel's position regarding a ceasefire. Just as the United States would not agree to a ceasefire after the bombing of Pearl Harbor or after the terrorist attack of 9/11, Israel will not agree to a cessation of hostilities with Hamas after the horrific attacks of October 7th. Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism, to surrender to barbarism. That will not happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible says that there is a time for peace and a time for war. This is a time for a war for our common future. Today we draw a line between the forces of civilization and the forces of barbarism. It is a time for everyone to decide where they stand. Israel will stand against the forces of barbarism until victory. I hope and pray that civilized nations everywhere will back this fight. Because Israel's fight is your fight. Because if Hamas and Iran's axis of evil win, you will be their next target. That's why Israel's victory will be your victory. But make no mistake, regardless of who stands with Israel, Israel will fight until this battle is won, and Israel will prevail. May God bless Israel, and may God bless all those who stand with Israel.
Okay, what do you think about that one?
He's a very clean-cut dude. Like, very... Like, if you're just a normal person watching that, how do you not go with what he's saying? Because it's a very rational, peaceful... Not what he's saying is peaceful, but, like, his attitude and presentation and everything.
He doesn't come across as a banker. Like a New York banker, you know?
He's quoting the Bible. He's saying God bless. You know, all these things that he's totally patronizing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Now I want to add, I just got an insight on this.
Okay.
At the very end, he said, God bless Israel and God bless all who stand with Israel. He's referring to that verse. I don't have it on hand, but it's the verse that Christians always use. You stand with Israel, you get blessed.
Oh, bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you.
No. It's specifically about Israel. It's specifically about the country of Israel. I'm going to look it up and put it on the screen, but I'm just guessing that that's the reference.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but he did the Bible, right. He did axis of evil.
Right.
That's so cringe now.
Is Palestine the axis of evil?
Well, now it's Palestine and Iran because any country can just make up who the axis of evil is at any time.
Gotcha.
But the problem is you're using a term that's played out based on fake wars. That nobody's like, yeah, we really should have went in there for those WMDs in Iraq, you know? Nobody does that, so don't use the terminology of that, right?
Right. It's tainted.
Right. And so he said, he said this. If they do a ceasefire, that's like surrendering to Hamas. That's like surrendering to terrorism. Wait, is it? A ceasefire is surrendering? So they're already at 9,000. I'm pretty sure it's higher than that now. Civilians they've killed, the Palestinians.
Okay.
So they're at over 9,000, you know. Nearly 50% of the people in Gaza are children.
Okay.
You know. So, you know what I'm saying? If you stop now, you've killed 7-8 times more than they killed. It's surrender.
Right.
That's not surrender. That's slaughter.
Right.
You just go and just kind of, you know what I mean? Pee on them and walk away. You know what I mean? Do it again, punks. Go ahead. What's up? What do you got? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is that surrender?
Yeah.
It's just such trash.
You're not giving up land or not giving up anything. You're just stopping the slaughter.
Right. And how are they even going to repair all those buildings in Gaza? It's like a war zone.
How much do you think it's all inflated or deflated, the numbers that they're saying?
I mean, I have no idea which way it's going because a lot of third party like Red Crosses and stuff can't get in there and stuff. So, yeah, it could be massively more. You're correct,
right?
Because we're probably getting it from Israel,
right?
Because they even turned off like they don't have phones that work and stuff.
Oh wow!
And so then what's our favorite South African's name? Musk. Musk said he's going to give him Starlink,
yeah,
to Gaza. But like when you talking about this clip. This is who you support if you support Trump.
Right.
Without qualification,
right.
This leader. And the next leader who we don't know who he is, who could be worse or better, you know?
Right.
That's Trump. Okay? So now let's go back to another part of Trump's speech.
Okay.
And we're going to hear, so I don't want to be bad here at this, but the first clip you saw from the Trump speech came from later in the speech.
Okay.
The second clip we're going to show right now, the third clip, total second clip from Trump's speech, it's really towards the beginning where he sets the scene for what the situation is in Israel and Gaza.
Gotcha.
On that terrible Saturday morning, the world saw once again that the conflict between Israel and Hamas is not a conflict between two equal sides. This is a fight between civilization and savagery, between decency and depravity, and between good and evil. There is no comparison between a group that worships death and a group that cherishes life and cherishes our nation. Every single life that is lost in this conflict is on the shoulders of Hamas, Hamas alone. It's Hamas alone. And I think you have to really add in the word Iran. Iran. People don't want to talk about it.
Okay, what do you think about that one?
It's interesting, like as you were, clipping this out and I was hearing it for the first time, and there's a segment in there where he's talking about, good and bad and depravity and whatever.
Decency, yeah.
Yeah, all these different things. If you really are just hearing that, like what country is he actually talking about? Which ones are which one is more depraved, morality-wise? And
worship death and celebrate life?
Right.
Like, imagine this. Palestinians live in Gaza, right? 2006, there's been a blockade. Almost 50% of the people in there are children. Do you know what that means?
That the older ones are dying?
No, since 2006, they're making babies.
Oh.
They're going at it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I say, this is going on in the news, and my wife says, you want to have more kids? The Palestinians are having kids.
Right.
That's incredible optimism. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like with Russians, they're incredibly pessimistic. So the slightest thing goes wrong and their abortion rate goes over 50%. They're literally over 50% abortion rate. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm saying celebrate life. Mm-hmm. Israelis.
Right. And so earlier you said that Israel has killed many times what Hamas killed?
Yeah.
And
they're like over 9,000 civilians.
And how many civilians did Hamas originally kill when they...
It's disputed, but like in the clip, 1,400. They said... I've heard as high as 1,600, and that also includes kidnapped, so undetermined on those.
But even just from those numbers, who's the people who are enjoying the death more? Right.
And I really would admit that if Hamas could get their number up, they totally would.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you said, hey, you want to add 10 grand on so you're in the lead, they would be like, yes. So they're both kind of celebrating death here.
But one's in a glorified concentration camp. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a...
But the other one's women and children as well.
Right.
It's all bad.
Yeah,
it's all bad.
It's a terrible situation.
Yeah, like I'm not taking a side here. I don't want anything to do with this. Right. I just don't want the person to become president of the United States that wants this, that wants to be neck deep in this. I was talking to my dad about this, and he's like, well, which side and this and that? And I'm like, there's two bad guys.
Yeah, why do you have to take a side?
Yeah, why do you have to take a side? Israel's rough because they want this land back that's not theirs, but they think they deserve it. It's rough for the other people because they're getting pushed out. Both are in a terrible position. Both want each other out. Both will do anything to get it done. Right? We'll just say mostly anything. Okay. So there's where we're at with that.
Okay.
Now we're going to play an old clip from Netanyahu, and you're not going to understand of it. You're going to have to read the screen. Sorry about that.
Oh, so it's like subtitled?
It's subtitled. And basically, let me set the scene. It's years old, and Netanyahu is in this private residence, and then they ask him a question, and then he like waves at the camera or something like, I can't, the camera. So then they move the camera away, but they bring the camera back. So now he speaks, he thinks he's off camera. So if you want to know what's really going on here, this is the story of Netanyahu. This is where let's just play it.
לתת להם מכות, לא רק מכות כל כך מכינות, שהמחיר יהיה כבד מצום. כרגע המחיר לא כבד מצום. זו התקפה רבת היקף על הרשות הפלסטינית. תביא אותם לפחד שהכל מתמוטט.
ואז, אבל אז שוב פעם העולם יגיד מה, אתם כובשים? אתה לא מפחד מהעולם, ביבי.
במיוחד היום עם אמריקה, אני יודע מה זה אמריקה. אמריקה זה דבר שאפשר להזיז אותו בקלות, להזיז לכיוון הנכון.
הם אומרים שהם בעדינו, אבל כאילו...
לא יחמיאו לנו.
אז אם אנחנו עושים איזה משהו, אז הם...
יש שווה, אז נניח שהם אומרים משהו. אז אמרו, 80% מהאמריקאים תומכים בנו. זה אבסורד, יש לנו שם תמיכה כזאת, ואנחנו אומרים מה נעשה עם הממשל ההוא היה כמו פלסטיני בצורה קיצונית. לא פחדתי להתעמת שם, לא פחדתי להתעמת עם קלינטון, לא פחדתי להתעמת עם אבו. בלאו הכי את המחיר הבינלאומי אני משלם, אז עדיף לי כבר לקבל תמורה. תמורה לאגרה.
What do you think?
Incredible arrogance.
Incredible.
Yes, he is not afraid of his position and who's backing him and who he controls.
Yeah. Okay. It just occurred to me.
Okay.
Everybody who's in political power or who's done something legislatively, executively, or judicially to put Israel first, that's treason.
Right.
That's
100%.
treason. I mean, it's full treason.
Right.
So Trump's words on the stage earlier were treason. He was committing treason against the United States. The penalty for that's death. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, I'm furious when I watch that right now.
Right.
You know, it's infuriating.
Right. Yeah. Anytime you put any other group over your people that you're supposed to be leading, yeah, it's unacceptable.
Right. So what do you think?
Definitely war criminal, or not war criminal. That'll be later, maybe.
Yeah. He's alluding to the next video. No, we don't have one. I'm just kidding.
War candidate, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that's our pitch. What do you guys think? You guys think that he's the peace candidate? I do admit that he didn't start any new wars in the last 4 years. Did kill Soleimani.
Sure.
That was great. We got a video about that. I'll put that in the description. He did that to stop a peace deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia to help Israel so the region could be more unstable as he murders this dude.
Right.
You know? I mean, he did that. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Okay.
And so what about Ron DeSantis? Is he...
Oh, we're going to have to find out. If you wait a couple of minutes, the next video published, we're going to do Ron talking to the exact same Jews.
Oh, great.
The exact same spot.
Oh, cool.
See what he's got.
So if you're interested in the number 2 candidate and his position, check out the next video. Hope to see you there.